Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. This was going to be a slop video, but actually I've decided I'm going to put it on my main channel instead. Actually, it's not even clickbait. Wait, it's literally not even a clickbait title. I am defending Bonnie Blue. The stars have aligned. It's a leap year. I found like a 6-leaf clover. I am defending Bonnie Blue. Pigs are flying right now. It's cats and dogs living together. Hysteria. I was bored perusing the internet last night and I found this interview. 2 women who will never agree. The Bonnie Blue interview, the standoff. I was like, sure, half an hour long. Nice. Digestible. I'll watch it. Wow. Let's just get into it. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't dislike bomb the video because the title is barely even clickbait. I am going to defend her. Don't dislike bomb the video yet. All right. Just watch and see what we're up against here. Without further ado, let's get into it.
I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody. Now I found something that makes me super happy, and even my family see how much happier I am.
So your family support what you do?
Super supportive.
So they don't like you?
No, they're super supportive.
But they don't like you?
It's like hard work to get this body count.
What is your body count? Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Michelle.
Hi, I'm Bonnie.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks for coming today. So I saw...
Firstly, right, this channel is like 400,000+ subscribers. Bad audio. You can hear the crackling. Bad audio, first of all.
So yeah, it's a big, like that's recruitment to... What would you classify yourself now, like work-wise, if someone says, what do you do for a living?
OnlyFans, but people call it prostitution, slut, slag, whatever.
Yeah.
So I take any word.
Oh, you're just happy with anything?
Yeah, like
Any word, anyone. Hey, Bonnie. Look, I'm defending you, but still. I'm delusional. We're not even into this yet. I genuinely believe if I sat down with Bonnie, we would have a much more productive, more fun chat than what happens in this interview. Let's get on with it.
So I take any word that comes with it.
But essentially that's the truth, though, isn't it? Like, you are selling your body.
Yeah.
So you don't mind the repercussions of what comes with it?
No, it's hard work being a slut. Like, I've earned the title.
So you enjoy being called a slut?
Do you know what I've Stockholmed myself into liking about Bonnie Blue? I love her soulless gaze. I know this is a video where I'm defending her and I'm still getting the shots in. If you look at her eyes, there is not, and people will go, oh yes, well she's disassociated because of, well, you know, what she's like put her body through. I don't believe that, man. So I don't believe in souls, but I do believe that if souls do exist, some people don't have them, and I think Bonnie is one of them. Isn't that a crazy thing to say about someone? But you know what I mean? There's just not an awareness behind those eyes. But I love it. It's so good in this interview. She is my chaos demon in this.
Okay, so it's not like an offensive thing. So
no.
So you are like a professional hoe, and you're happy about that?
Yeah, it's like hard work to
her face. I love it.
Get this body count.
What is your body count?
It's coming up to 2,000.
I was so surprised by that. I thought it'd be more, because when she goes on these freshers weeks, then she like bonking hundreds of blokes, teenagers, like every month or whatever, and she did 1,000 one day, right? So how is it only quotations 2,000 people? I thought it'd be higher, man. Like Russell Brand's done like what? Like Gene Simmons has done like 10k. Russell Brand's done like 5 or 6k. Come on, Bonnie. Do you know what? Actually, you're quite lazy, Bonnie Blue. You could be trying a lot harder, couldn't you?
Experts charge expert fees.
Go away.
2,000 men.
Yeah.
I know, I was shocked too. They're so low.
2,000. It is high.
Okay, so
I genuinely thought she was on like more like 5,000, because the way that she talks, how these freshers and these events she does goes down, I thought it would be way more, unless she's lying about some things.
So was like any experienced trauma in your childhood that you can recall that would have...
Zero trauma, no daddy issues. People look into my past a lot and they're like, there must be something, like something must be happening.
Because it is a big thing to just go from like having this beautiful life in a village to people on camera. That's like...
It was a beautiful life, but God, it was boring.
My viewpoint on Bonnie has changed quite a bit because I ingest so much of her content, not that kind of content. I ingest so much of this, right? So, you know, because when she does interviews and other podcasts, the comments will always be like, look at those eyes, like she's broken. It's going to really come back to haunt her in 10 years' time. I've swung around completely the other way. I don't know if this is bad to say. I'm just going to say it anyway. I think if anyone was made to do this, it's Bonnie Blue. because I think that this is a crazy thing to say. So I'm just getting it in the first 5 minutes of this video. I think she actually might be a psychopath. I don't really think in 10 years' time she's going to turn around. Because I might have said this once in a video, but I don't agree with it anymore. I don't think in 10 years' time she's going to turn around and be like, oh yes, what I did was really damaging to myself and I'm full of regret. I don't think she's going to do that. I think if she does, it might just be a ploy for, I don't know, a new grift or attention or whatever. I don't think she's going to regret it. I don't think she's capable of remorse or regret. I think she is actually genuinely a bit psychotic in that sense. And that's why she has that kind of like narcissistic like stare where she's looking through people. She's doing things entirely for shock value with no remorse. She doesn't care about how she comes across to others or doesn't even care about the effects of what she does, how it affects other people. Because there's some choice feminism talk, not that they use those words, of course, in this as well. And it's like, oh, we don't exist in a vacuum, though. Your body, your choice. Same time, we don't exist in a vacuum, and the things that we do publicly do affect like one another, especially. Not the person to really get into it, but I understand. Right? She uses others for her OnlyFans, her gratification, to be an object of desire in like men's eyes. She loves that because she gets something out of it. It's very transactional. And I've noticed, because again, I've watched like quite a lot of her at this point, I've never actually seen her express real emotions. I've never seen her laugh. Like a genuine, like not a sort of masking, trying to laugh to look a bit human, like a genuine laugh of joy. I've never seen it. So I'm now of the opinion that actually she's just always been a little bit psychotic, which is fine, fair enough. And she's not going to regret it in 10 years' time. And if she turns around and does, I think it's just going to be something that she says to try and get people on side for whatever like new thing she wants to do for attention. And I don't mean any of that as like a criticism. That's just my analysis of her. And I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist or anything. That's just what I think. I might be wrong. I don't think I am wrong though. Because, and we'll see in this interview, she is so cool she's so unfazed, unflappable, under pressure. The interviewer starts getting really emotional, which is where she loses the interview immediately. Like in another minute or so, you're going to see what I mean. And Bonnie is completely unfazed. She's like, yeah, call me whatever, I don't care, okay. Well, like nothing phases her. And I don't think it's disassociation. I think it's this kind of detachment that can only come from being a bit of a psychopath. And again, I'm not even saying that in a derogatory way. Like, I think sometimes I'm a bit of a sociopath because I'm pretty sure I can turn off and on my empathy. Remember once when Logan Paul said, I think all of us have, like, sociopathic traits, and people went nuts over it, and they're like, oh my God, he called himself a sociopath. That's crazy. He's a sociopath. He's, like, evil. And it's like, he's not evil for saying that. He's bad for doing certain things, but he's not evil for just saying, yeah, like, some of us do have sociopathic traits. What's wrong with acknowledging that? I definitely do it. That's bad. But I try not to. Right, let's just get on with this before I lose everyone.
But like, you're a pretty girl. You could have gone into modelling. You could have gone into acting. You could have been like a...
What part of Bonnie Blue do you think could go into acting? She can't even emote. She can't express joy or laugh, but she's going to be an actress? What are you talking about? What insult.
Influencer.
It's also very hard to get into that.
But so is people.
Not
constantly.
really. Like, I love that, and that's what I've got passion about.
You have
She's so funny.
Passion about having multiple men entering your body on a continuous basis.
It's just what she's into, all right? You'll see, guys, in like 20 minutes time. Right. I've already watched this the whole way through, so I'm already... Weirdest sentence ever, never thought would come out of my mouth. I'm already on Bonnie's side because I've seen this interview. Okay, so just hold your horses. Don't condemn me yet.
Multiple orgasms a day. Like, sex is focused on pleasure and enjoyment. Yeah. I just get a lot more of it than most people.
But how can you find pleasure in short spurts? Because was it 100 men that you had sex with?
I did 1,057.
How's it possible?
It was a lot of work. It was sort of like
40 seconds each, babe. Work it out.
Like a rotation. Every 40 seconds, somebody...
See, told ya. Bonnie, we should team up, not in that way. Oh, God.
...knew was inside of me.
Guys, this always happens. I just find the most awful people to be so funny. It's literally one of my biggest character flaws. Finding terrible people hilarious and then getting a bit, like, attached in my head to them and then getting in trouble for it.
You say that so blankly, like it was just like
Well,
This is what I mean. Blank, no emotion, no expression. And I don't think, because she was blank and expressionless even way back in the GK Barry interview. Like, I think that's just who Bonnie is. She probably was like that as a child, as a teenager.
because like for the logistics to work, it was very structured.
yeah.
It
So
wasn't
how did you
just-
find pleasure in like short stops?
Like I love
All pleasure is just short stops until the next burst of pleasure, whether that's eating or sleeping or sex or drinking. If you really want to get into it.
the idea that I don't know who's going to be inside of me. There was times I was in doggy and I'd turn around and I would have no idea who's in the back of me. And I love that.
That's disgusting.
4 minutes, 40 seconds into this interview, she turns around, this interviewer, it comes up later on exactly why she has biases, and I'm just going to give you a spoiler alert. It's essentially conservatism dressed up as spirituality. And I know me even saying conservatism, like some idiot's going to be like, oh, what, so liberals think it's okay to like sleep with 1,000 men in 12 hours? It's like, that's not what I'm saying. Don't do that stupid argument. But there are certain, do you know what, we'll just get into it.
Love it.
As a woman, there's just no self-respect there, or like no self-worth at all. There's no.
This is an interview, right? And this lady, I think this is her job. She does interview people on this channel, on other things or whatever. I briefly looked into her. Within 5 minutes, calling someone else disgusting and saying you have no respect for yourself. How do you expect to get? She's getting emotional, right? Immediately resorting to ad hominem attacks. Other people resort to ad hominem attacks because they get emotional, because they're angry, or because they're losing their arguments. I resort to ad hominem attacks because I just think it's funny. I reckon me and Bonnie would get on. That's so fucked up, isn't it? But immediately resorting to that, you've already lost the interview. And this is just the start of it, by the way. But what's amazing is Bonnie is completely unflappable.
Value, like you don't. There's
Yeah.
no value inside of you for you to just be like, anyone can f me.
Oh, there's like I value myself so much more now that I do this
How?
as opposed to in recruitment. When I worked in recruitment, I was given orders. I was
Oh no, it's so weird. I love it. That lady just sat there and said, you have no value. You're just letting people do what they want to, blah, blah, blah. You have no, high value woman. Is that what we're saying? You have no value. You have no respect for yourself. And Bonnie's just like, yeah.
yeah. So if that includes 1,000 people that day, that's exactly what I do. Like I'm in control. And I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm not saying you should 1,000 people, nor could you maybe do it. But
is that a challenge, Bonnie? Because I'll see you out on the field. I'm joking. No, thank you.
it's like my body and I take control of it.
Yeah,
and
of
as a
course.
woman, we all say about how if we feel empowered by something, we should do that.
But this is so this is like the fallacy of choice feminism, which I was thinking of even like talking about some of the Sabrina Carpenter stuff, but to be honest, I can't be bothered, and I'd rather talk about my philosophy instead. My next video that should be up is about body blue and moral philosophy. FYI, guys. Choice feminism is all well and good if we didn't live under a patriarchy that exploits women, but we do. So our actions, unfortunately, don't happen in a vacuum, and our actions do affect other women. So, you know, it's like that horrible girl, I won't even say her name, one of the clearly just like pundits who just wants to agitate and says ridiculous things about this woman in America, I'm not even saying her name, who thinks, well, she says rage baity things and says women shouldn't be allowed to vote, women this, women that, women are worthless, blah, blah, blah. And some people could use choice feminism to say, well, it's her choice to go online and say those things, but it affects other women. Sabrina Carpenter expressing herself in such a way that makes a mockery, I'm getting into it and I said I wouldn't, makes a mockery of other women. Or do you know what I hate? I hate the old fucking fallacy of, oh, it's satire, because I don't think people understand what satire means. Not me, the satire king. Look at Into the Breach, the Paul Breach files for true satire, if you want that. Or Brass Eye or whatever. Commentary channels like Leafy Is Here used to say outrageous things on camera, just bullying like little kids or whatnot. And then when they got pushed back, would turn around and be like, oh, guys, but I was being satirical. And it's like, no, you weren't, though, because satire shouldn't be indistinguishable from the real thing. And specifically the thing with Sabrina Carpenter and all the controversy she kept getting into. And it got like worse and worse and worse because she did like a Lolita inspired. Shall I do a video on it, guys? While still being nuanced, because there is something to be said about the people who were reacting were kind of like, some of them just were prudes and were like, oh my god, she's like, hair pulling is not and it's like, hair pulling's fine in a consensual relationship if you're both into that thing. Like, I'm not a prude, chill out, guys. I'm not some prude on Twitter, some neo-Christian heavens to Betsy prude, right? But maybe I should just do a whole video on it. People that say she's being satirical, well, if she's being satirical, then why couldn't have the man been on the leash if you wanted it to be true satire? And why did it make a lot of women feel bad and not men? And even if it is a satirical take against men, because it's man's best friend and she's treating herself like a dog, which also, I don't like that anyway, because also that's like mean to dogs. Dogs are wonderful. I like dogs more than I like people, especially more than I like men. If she was being satirical, yeah, why did it make women feel bad, or a lot of women feel bad, but not men? And trust me, also, men don't give a fuck. A lot of men weren't looking at that being like, wow, she sure told me. Or like, she had a Rolling Stones cover where she was basically like just totally naked apart from her hair, and it's like, is that still satire? Do you think men care? Do you think men are like, oh yep, I've been told, I've seen the error of my ways? No, they don't give a shit. So what was I talking about? Choice feminism. Should I just do a video on it? It's a fallacy because we are still under a patriarchy and still taken advantage of and still not treated totally as equal individuals, right? And I don't think empowerment should be used as a catch-all term. Is it empowering that Bonnie Blue had 1,000 men sleep with her? So, you know, just on the scale of like pleasures, right? Bonnie Blue's pleasure, she only orgasmed 3 times, she said in an interview during that 12-hour bonkathon. Whereas like all of those men, almost those men, got their rocks off and had a really good time. So is that empowering for her? No, because it's literally 1,057 versus 1. So no, how can it be in any sort of quantifiable way? And my conspiracy theory is that some things are being pushed to women as empowering. Like, we don't really have true sexual liberation and freedom, do we? I think some things are pushed to women under the guise of, oh, but it's empowering for you. But then if it's still just like titillating men, how empowering is it? Anyway, that's maybe a conversation for another time. These are just some of my thoughts, and they're transient. They might change in 6 months' time. But anyway, some of those men who sleep with Bonnie Blue are married or have girlfriends or whatnot. So it's not empowering for her to be enabling them to cheat. Too long, didn't listen.
Yeah, I feel empowered when I'm disrespected by over 1,000 men. Like,
she's so funny. I think she's immediately clocked what's going to upset the interviewer, and then she just starts saying shit. Imagine if she turned around though and did like a Nikocado avocado and was like 2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. And started acting as though like this whole bit has been satire. Would we get people clapping and being like, wow, she's a satirical genius for doing that? Because that would be so stupid, because it's like, satirical genius or not, all these men have still got their rocks off, and if there's something I'm against, it's against men getting their rocks off. I'm sorry, guys.
Spit on me, slap me, choke me, pull my hair, because they're too polite to me. It's like,
oh, my crazy beauty.
Like an act. Like, I don't genuinely think you could have slept with 1,000 men and be so happy about it.
yeah, no, I was so happy. Like,
Bonnie, I don't think you've ever expressed happiness in your life, babe.
I feel like maybe you've done it for content, or maybe it doesn't feel like clout, or you've said you've done it just to say you've done it, but you
I can show you the video.
No, I'd pass on the video, thank you, because I think I'd be sick. But
see, this interview is just a little bit like, do you know what? If that were me, I'd turn around and be like, yeah, go on, let's see. But I don't. This interviewer has some like hang-ups about sex, and we get into it like in 15 or so minutes time. Whereas I'm just a bit more detached. I'm a bit more detached from it. I'm just a bit like literally just animals rutting. I don't see it as like this. Oh my God, I'm saying too much. I don't see it as like this magic. I just had a matcha, so I'm just on fire. I don't see it as like some sort of magical union between 2 people. It's animals rutting like on the Discovery Channel. Whatever. I'd watch it. I'm not paying to watch it. Bonnie, show me the videos. And your birth certificate. You are not 25.
You can't say it's not true.
I'm just saying, I can't fathom that actually being a thing. I couldn't imagine a woman happily allowing 1,000 men into her body and smile about it and say, well, I liked it. I did.
Well, if the universe is infinite, then an infinite amount of things have already happened and will continue to happen. So I guess there is a possibility that there is a woman who would enjoy 10,000 men going inside. Bit of a lack of imagination on your part, babe. This is why I'm the writer. Not that I've been writing anything.
Why do I need to do it in private? I'm proud of it.
Yeah, but
it's
you
like
shouldn't
going, oh, I've done an amazing piece of art, but I should hide it away.
But it's not, because doing art and becoming a cum bucket is two completely different.
Isn't that wild that she just called Bonnie Blue? That is so funny. Isn't that crazy? And guess what? It's not going to be the first time that she calls her a whore either. It's kind of crazy. I know Bonnie said that she's okay with it, but like, there's a difference to being like, oh, you're in your hoe era, blah, blah, blah. And then being like, X bucket, you're a whore, you're a slag. There's a difference, you know what I mean? I know it doesn't, like, Bonnie doesn't care, but oh well.
Different things.
It's very much art. Like, I see it as a performance. It's fun.
It's not. People aren't going to pay to go to a theatre and watch you get dug out by a million men. It's just not. It's not art.
There are sex shows though in Amsterdam, and when I go to Amsterdam, I'd like to go watch a sex show. Why not? Again, it's just literally animals rutting mindlessly. Look at her face. Look at the face I've stomped it on. She's, oh my god, Bonnie, you succubus. Kind of love her now. Wait, no, that's bad. She's done bad things. Ah, well.
I think you find my bank balance disagrees with what you've just said.
I'm saying they wouldn't put it in a theatre.
Well, I'm actually.
But the sex shows in theatres exist. So maybe they would. I think like a lot of, if Bonnie got some sort of, you know how pop stars get residency in, I was going to say New Vegas, in Las Vegas, and they like perform every night there and stuff. Imagine if Bonnie got residency in like some club in Amsterdam and she was just getting like railed in an orgy every night. People would pay to see that. If I was in town, maybe I'd go in and see. Say hi to me old mate Bonnie.
I'm doing my own theatre next month.
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe you could come to that and you see the amount of men that pay to watch me be in a glass cage for 24 hours.
To do what in a glass cage?
Well, I'll just be like a zoo animal. They can come if they want to f me, they can f me. If they just want to stare at me.
She's got like a slight smirk. It's very infinitesimal because again, she doesn't emote emotions, but I can tell like there's a bit of her that's just, she knows that she's going to rile this interviewer up and she's just going for it. And, you know, in my chaotic heart of hearts, like respects like she's 25, right? When I was 25, not in this way, in this capacity, but I was a wind up and I was a bit of a troll and stuff. So oh, what memories. Upsetting people. How awful. Bonnie, I think we're the problem.
They're welcome to. But I'm going to be tied up in a glass box for a couple of days and my body is for everyone. It's happening in June.
So you're going to
It did not in fact happen.
get paid to be in a box and just
Like David Blaine. So it is like an act. Wow.
let anyone do whatever they want to you.
Yeah.
And
Well, obviously I get paid once I make the video, but the actual act is completely free. I'm not saying, oh my God, for you to see me naked, you've got to pay loads of money. No, it's free of charge. Anybody can come.
Is there like a limit or
Can I come, Bonnie? Not in that way.
a certain standard of man that can be around you?
No,
Or
as long as
inside
they're
of
of
you?
legal age, like anybody and everybody's welcome. I don't discriminate. Whether you're fat, skinny, small, big dick, anyone.
Ah, yes, the 4 main criteria of man. The 4 physical types. Fat, skinny, big willy, small willy.
Out of the 1,000 men, there was a lot of barely legal
Yeah.
boys. Do you not have a problem with the fact that they're literally borderline underage,
No, because they're 18.
but they're still children?
Yeah, but they're 18.
What if he was 17?
Well, then no, because that'd be illegal.
Would you still, if it wasn't on camera?
No.
No, so your limit is 18 years
Yeah.
old, but they are still...
I'd happily take someone like on their 18th birthday. Like,
Bonnie, what are we going to do with you? Prison?
no
Do
problem.
you not think it's damaging to them?
No, usually they'd have sex unprotected. Somebody they don't know, it could be on a one night stand, they've been drinking, maybe drugs are involved. They're going into an unsafe environment that they don't know. That girl the next day could say, hey, I didn't consent to that. Hey, that was rape. Or, hey, you didn't know what you was doing and you actually hurt me.
Yeah.
Them having sex with me, I'm saying, look, use me as a guinea pig.
I like how Bonnie implies that by allowing herself to be open for business, she is somehow preventing girls from being assaulted. That's some logic there.
Consenting to this, and I want to educate you on a woman's body. Because yes, you can learn sex education at school, but how much do you learn from a middle-aged teacher that's not been laid for years?
So you're just like a
Bonnie, you can't help yourself, can you?
modern day walk-in sex education lesson
Yeah,
for
I know.
underage children.
Which is crazy. The craziest thing, yeah. If you look on some sites to see what the fuss is about. I have done. What's the big deal? See what the fuss is about. All I'm saying is she doesn't half just lay there and make some bored noises. That's the funniest part of all of this to me. Like, I don't see this kind of like sex demon nymph so much. Like, we hear about it, we hear all the chat, but then if you actually see, I'm not suggesting anyone does, but if you actually see some of these videos, it's just a bit dull. She's very Jay from In-Betweeners. Big Jay from In-Betweeners energy.
All right. Well, when I fingered her, she shit down my arm.
If you want to go around and exploit your body, that's completely up to you. Like I said, it's your body. But then you're exploiting children's bodies at the same time.
An 18-year-old's not a child's body.
Barely legal. They're still children. My nephew's 18. He's still a child.
I'll send him to me then.
Body.
No, I'd absolutely never do that.
Hopefully I'll find him in my queue one day.
No, I don't.
He's so funny. Sorry.
I think he will, because he has like respect for himself. I don't know if something
The
you're
men
familiar
that
with.
It's very passive aggressive, isn't it? Just come out and be like, no, shut up, body. You know what I mean? Like, they're very passive aggressive. And like, by showing that like visibly she's getting affected by the things Bonnie is saying. Bonnie, that's like blood to a shark. She knows that, and she's going to keep pressing, and she's going to say the things that wind this person up even more.
Come see me, have a lot of respect.
They don't, unfortunately. I know you might think they do.
How many of you asked that I've slept with?
I would never ask anyone that you've slept with, because I don't know
So you
anyone
don't know that you've not got respect?
I
This is
know
the thing,
enough by someone going and queuing up to fuck someone for 40 seconds, they don't have any respect for
Sometimes
themselves.
they have longer. I do it on a regular basis. But
Okay.
the women like to judge these men so heavily that queue and fuck me and everything else. No one's ever gone out of the way to ask them, how do you feel? Like,
see, this, if I was doing this, which I wouldn't anyway, because I don't really care, but this is the part where I would turn around and be like, well, actually, at some of these events, not Bonnie's, but Lily's and whoever's, they have done social media content speaking to some of the blokes. In fact, I think Bonnie has even done a little bit of social media content speaking to some of the blokes who come to these events. And sometimes just from these little snippets, like, that's all I really need to know about them, because you can tell when someone's just a bit stupid or morally bankrupt, because a few of them have admitted, oh yes, I have a girlfriend or I have a wife or whatever. Usually they're wearing like a balaclava or whatever. So the interviewer should have been more prepped for this, should have done more research, because she could have easily answered this by being like, actually, there have been people who have been at these events, blokes, I mean, who have gone to and I know this because my slop channel, Too Alizee, Too Furious, I cover a lot of the Bonnie Blue stuff and the Lily Phillips, whatever stuff. And let's be real, the audience of Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips, like, the Venn diagram is just a circle, right? So there have been newspaper interviews with some of the people who have gone to these events, and you can just tell they're a bit stupid. And yeah, if you have a wife and girlfriend and you haven't you're in a monogamous relationship and then you go and cheat on them by shagging Bonnie Blue and having it be on OnlyFans, that does tell me all I need to know about a person. But the interviewer just starts being like, no, they're disgusting, and won't give actual reasons as to why. Because in monogamous relationships, people should be open and honest. In polyamorous relationships, you can still cheat. People should be open and honest. Relationships of any kind with people that you allegedly or supposedly care about should be open and honest. So, you know, if there was a relationship, a polyamorous one, where the guy wants to bonk Bonnie Blue, he tells his polyamorous girlfriend, and she goes, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, that's fine. I'm not going to have an issue with that. But anyway.
How does this make you feel? Or what's brought you here today? Nobody. Women just sit and judge these men for having sex with me without even knowing them. And that's,
to be honest, Bonnie, I would just judge all men for anything anyway, not even having sex with you or not. And from the clips and articles and whatever we have seen, none of them are Einsteins. Though, isn't that ironic? Wasn't he a bit of a nympho? So was Jeremy Bentham, the founder of utilitarianism. Everyone's just so sex mad. I feel like Immanuel Kant, just like, what's wrong with you rutting animals?
that's one thing I don't do. I do not judge someone unless I've spoken to and met them. But women are more than happy to do that. And that's more of a reflection.
Blokes are as well, though, Bonnie. There are some blokes who give the other blokes pushback, and like most of my friends are dudes, and they're just like, oh, imagine going to a Bonnie Blue orgy. So you shouldn't pick on women so much, Bonnie. Then I'd have less issues with you. I'm not even getting into the barely legal stuff. I can't be bothered anymore.
To do something like that, to do what you do, it means you don't have any respect for yourself. To do what
being
they
a porn
did,
star?
it's not a porn star though, is it?
Okay, what we're calling it? Prostitution?
Oh, it's basically prostitution, isn't it?
Okay,
Modernized prostitution.
so prostitutes don't have respect for themselves?
Absolutely not. How can you sit there knowing you let 1,000 men have sex with you in 12 hours and say, I have respect for myself?
Because
you
that's
don't
what
have
I
respect
enjoy.
for yourself. It doesn't matter whether you enjoy it or not. You can enjoy it with one man privately in your own home.
That'd
you don't
be
need
so
to.
boring. Just because I want to make a sex tape and post it, if I want to do that and the people I'm filming with consent to that, then I don't really see why people judge it.
Well,
Really?
they are judging you.
See, I'm like in the middle because I'm like Aristotle. I think, and because I know this woman's viewpoints on sex, and it basically is don't have sex with more than one person, and it will come up in less than 10 minutes, and it's not scientifically backed. So I'm quite biased against this interview already because some of the stuff garbage she comes out with in 12 minutes time is not backed by science, and it's basically like right-wing, pseudo-intellectual, nonsensical rubbish by like alpha male bro men who have no understanding of basic science. She starts parroting those viewpoints in a bit to clearly back up her conservatism that is masked under the guise of spirituality. So why did I just start ranting? I totally forgot. Oh yeah, I'm like Aristotle. I'm in the middle of a bunch of this because I'm not a prude. Like some of the people who are like, you should only ever have sex with one person and it should be lights off, missionary, close your eyes, don't defile your body for God. And I'm also not on the, let's be realistic. It's not healthy to let 1,000 blokes drill you in one day. Like, it's not mentally healthy, is it? But I do think no one else but Bonnie could do it.
Yeah, because it is discussing what you're doing. But that's just a fact. Again, it's not.
And she also keeps saying that's just a fact, but these are her opinions, and Bonnie picks up on it in a moment, but it's like, these are your opinions, they're not facts. Oh no, facts don't care about your feelings.
Judgment, I'm not.
No, that's your
it's
opinion.
Not my opinion. No, that's
Opinion
a fact.
and facts are very different.
Yeah, exactly. My opinion is that I think you're actually a really pretty girl. My fact is that you are a whore.
Yeah.
So this interview's going well, isn't she? She's called her a bucket, and she's just been like, the fact is you're a whore.
You are a prostitute. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And
So all prostitutes are whores. Oh, was that a Freudian slip? Oh, how interesting. Most of the time, prostitutes are doing it because unfortunately they have to. So love that judgment from the interviewer.
what you're doing is disrespectful and it's disgusting.
No,
That's
you
a
find it
fact.
disrespectful.
No. The world finds it disrespectful and disgusting. The only person who doesn't have a problem with it currently is you and any boy who's getting satisfaction from it because
I wouldn't
they're
say the world.
barely legal.
I'd say I've slept with obviously nearly 2,000 people.
Yeah.
They don't find it disgusting.
Of course they do. They probably think you're disgusting.
I've got over 600,000 subscribers and earn over 2 million a month. I think there's a lot of people that do not find it disgusting.
I bet every single one of them probably does find it disgusting. And they're probably
I wouldn't make assertions about things that you cannot accurately judge. I do think that there would be some blokes who are attracted to it but also repelled by it, and there are also some blokes who are just like quite misogynistic, so they like basically being given permission to be horrible about a woman but get away with it in like this small socially accepted scenario. But yeah, also the interviewer is just lost at this point because now she's just making assertions that things she can't possibly know one way or the other.
disgusting themselves too.
I spend hours and hours a day speaking to them and getting to know them.
Yeah.
You're once again judging and assuming.
Allowing 1,000 penises into one vagina in 12 hours is disgusting.
But the more you talk about it, the more it turns me on.
Unflappable, unfazed, like demonic queen of chaos.
Yeah, but that is disgusting too.
It's not. What, I'm turned on from something I've done?
Yeah, publicly.
So sorry, should I sit here and cry that?
I don't want you to
God,
cry.
I took 1,000
It's not.
guys.
It's not about crying. You don't need to sit and cry that you fucked 1,000 guys. But there's a thing called shame, and we should probably bring that back.
Should we put her in the stocks as well and throw tomatoes at her?
And you're out here saying, actually, no, I'm a slut. I'll lay down and let anyone f me. I have nothing to prove. I've got no self-worth. You don't have to value me at all. And everything we're working towards, you're
So
just
really, I'm
disregarding
helping
it.
the women out. So
No,
I'm saying,
you're literally
don't
ruining everything that we've worked towards.
I'm saying instead of, flirting with that woman across the road who doesn't want to be wolf whistled and is going to cry about the fact she had a wolf whistle.
Yeah.
I'm saying just come and f me.
But they're still
She could have called her out here and been like, you're just being misogynistic now, Bonnie. You've just said, don't judge the men who sleep with me. Don't judge the men who speak to me. But you're making these blanket statements about all women. Women cry about everything. Women, they cry about being wolf whistled or whatever. She could have pushed back on it and been like, why can't you not be a pick-me and give women the same grace that you're giving all of these men? But so she doesn't.
Going to do it. And the fact that you're normalizing the behavior of being a whore constantly is making men think, okay, women are more accessible now, and they think they have more chance with other women.
So actually the conversation is a little bit different, but I know what she's getting at. One of the issues of Bonnie is now men are acting as though this is just women. This is, a woman goes on, what was the example some dickhead used? He shall not be named. She's just, getting a train ran on her. She's just doing what a lot of women do when they go to like Shagaloof, in one weekend. They get trains run on all the time. But it's like, I've never known a woman to act like that. Men are now using Bonnie Blue and saying in a world of Bonnie Blues. It's like, there's not a world of Bonnie Blues. There's not a society of Bonnie Blues. There is one Bonnie Blue, but there are thousands of men who want to sleep with her, 10,000 men who signed up, I think, to try to sleep with her for a 1,000 men challenge. So men are weaponizing the existence of Bonnie Blue to try and paint all women as Bonnie Blue. All women cheat and they have low standards and they get trains ran on them whenever they go on holiday. But the fucking opposite is true. There's one Bonnie Blue and tens and probably more than that, like 600,000 followers she has on her OnlyFans. 600,000 men who probably would try and like bang her if they could, So should have twisted the argument back. But I also understand it's like, it's not easy to, it's easier when you're sitting around by yourself. And it's not easy to do when you're in a situation where you are getting heated and someone is winding you up. That's why I just think like, it's probably best to not do these sort of interviews in the first place, really. Because the comment section, believe me, isn't on the interviewer's side. It's on, I believe her name's Michelle. It's not on Michelle's side. It's on Bonnie's.
Women being like that. Because you're making it like it's a normal thing when it's not.
The other thing is, it's clearly not normal because not everyone 1,000 people.
Yeah.
But I, before every video, say, hey, this is what I enjoy. This is what I like. This is what I'm consented to.
Yeah.
This does not mean your wife at home.
Yeah, but the men aren't listening though, Bonnie. These men that you claim you don't want us to judge, they're not listening, and they're trying to act as though we are all Bonnie. I am Spartacus. I am Bonnie Blue. They're trying to act like we're all a Bonnie Blue. So the most ironic thing too, I think, is the men that say that act as though every woman just wants to be a Bonnie Blue. That man who's saying it is shagging about as well. Everyone's at it. I'm Emmanuel Kant. You all disgust me. Everyone's at it. Everyone's shagging around and acting as though they either don't or they judge others for it. It's a mess. Again, aliens drive past Earth and lock their UFO doors.
And your wet wipes of girlfriends are going to enjoy this. But this is...
See, wet wipes of girlfriends. There's no need to be sexist, Bonnie. You almost have me on side, but there's no need to be sexist. There's no need to... Why are you blaming and being mean about other women? Pick me behaviour. And the interviewer should be picking up on, the things that Bonnie says is dripping with sexism.
This is what I like, and this is my body, and as a woman, I'm taking control.
And that's absolutely fine, like I said, to do it privately.
It's clearly not a fight, though, because you just called her a whore.
But to be out there so publicly with it, when there's little girls that are going to see this and maybe one day be...
Well, the media is complicit in that too, because little girls should not be seeing anything about Bonnie Blue, because little girls shouldn't be on OnlyFans. If the media wasn't so complicit and driving clicks, Alizee, you're talking about this on YouTube. And guess what? I don't think YouTube should be accessible for kids. I know there's YouTube Kids, but I don't think like 12-year-olds should be on this platform. I'm quite strict and totalitarian about that. There's nothing here for them, really. I don't think it's good for them. So, yeah, the media are totally complicit because it gets clicks.
But it is though, isn't it? Because as a little girl, when you are growing up and you are confused or you don't know, or you might someone's in a dead-end job and they think they're going to look at you and might consider, okay, maybe I should just sell my body. It's the easy way out and I'll just be a whore too. That's not a great example to set for any person. And as a woman, you should try, especially a woman who has a platform that you have now, should try and do something to help women, to uplift women, to make us feel secure, to make us feel safe and to make us feel empowered.
It would be so performative though if Bonnie Blue turned around and started caring about women. Like realistically, it would be so performative, and I just wouldn't really believe it because that's not who she is as a person, you know. So now we're talking about should she change who she is fundamentally as a human being, as like the final boss of being a pick me. Should she change that to do something that is inherently fake to her character? I'm not saying yes or no. I just think it's an interesting conversation to have. Because I don't necessarily agree with like everyone who has a big public platform should be a role model. So all I'm saying is sometimes some people are just have a talent for something. So Bonnie, she has a talent for like, you know, shock value and doing crazy things and getting in the news. Does that necessarily mean that they should then be role models for little kids? I don't know, man.
Actually, we're not empowering. Just lay down and be a wet rag for everyone, and that's it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying, oh, don't worry about having sex with your husband. I'll do it for you. I'm saving people a job.
But you're not, actually, because you're ruining people's marriages. Why would you want to someone's husband?
If their husband wants to sleep with me and not talk about it with their wife, their marriage is already There's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Well, Bonnie, you are condoning that. Though, yes, if a guy wants to cheat on his wife with Bonnie Blue, there's something already wrong in that marriage. I do agree with that. But I don't also agree with like I'm going to wash my hands of it and be like, it's nothing to do with me if you've known and you condone and you enable the behaviour.
Of course,
but
why would you want to entertain that situation anyway?
Because if they're not having sex with their partner, I will happily do it on repeat.
Why?
I don't discriminate whether you're married, 18 or 80. I'll take anybody.
You'd fuck an old man.
Oh yeah, of course I would. Old men deserve sex. I mean, the wife might be dead.
So you really will just have sex with anybody?
Why is that what she's so affronted by? You'd have sex with an old man? Of course she would. I don't think that's like the biggest deal out of all of this.
But it's the fact that you try to glorify it like it's a beautiful thing that you're doing, like every woman should do it, but it's not.
No, but I'm not saying every woman. I've never said that.
But you're saying if that's what you enjoy, you should go and do it.
Yeah, because if you enjoy something, I'm not saying that's 1,000
But what
men.
about if I said I really enjoy murdering people? Should I just go around and kill everyone?
No, because that's illegal. The difference is what I'm doing.
I love how she's like, it's illegal to murder people. No, Bonnie, it is probably in 99.9% of cases morally wrong to kill someone. Just leaving a little bit of leeway there, you know, for any sort of extenuating circumstances. It is morally wrong to do a killing, Bonnie Blue. It's not just that it's illegal. I do love how she sticks to the law so much when laws are created by people who are fallible in the first place. Like possession of weed in America used to get locked up for 20 years for possession of weed. And now in most states, it's either decriminalized or it's sold. Weed here is sold medically. Laws change because they aren't created by God. They're created by humans.
Okay, but morally, take illegality out of it. Morally, they're both very wrong things to be doing.
Morals aren't factual. Everyone has different morals.
Yeah.
For some people, because I'm not religious, like, oh my God, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Like, I've slept with 1,000 people. Oh, so now I'm going to hell. Like, morals aren't factual.
Okay.
But neither are laws. These are just things that most of us can agree. You know, like killing being wrong is something most of us can agree on. And technically that's a morality thing that then got turned into like a legality thing. Oh my God. I just got such a flashback to, is the pious because it is loved by the gods, or do the gods love it because it is pious? Why does everything lead back to philosophy? That's from a Platonic text called You Phi Throw. I could do a review of it sometime if you wanted. Let's move on.
So if you said, I enjoy murdering
But naturally,
people,
as humans, we are born with a set of morals. Mm-hmm. Naturally.
No, the jury's out on that one. There's some disagreements on it.
Well, I don't think I was born at 1 year old thinking I'm going to have a gangbang. Like,
no,
that
of course
wasn't in
not.
my head.
But that's what I mean. Along the way, somewhere during your lifetime, you have lost your morals.
I enjoy it, and I'm doing.
Morals are more taught societally, I think, environmentally. You know, because if we had no morals and no laws, if you go around just like killing people whenever, society just doesn't really function. So I guess the guidelines help us function rather than maybe it's something we naturally have. Do we naturally have senses of good and bad? If you grew someone purely in isolation from all concepts of good and bad, would they intrinsically know and understand it? I don't think so. Wow, this just got so deep. for a convo about a woman having a 1,000 man gangbang.
Nothing wrong. I'm not hurting anybody. If anything, I've got liquid evidence
You are hurting some women though, aren't you?
of doing the opposite.
You're not hurting anybody,
Liquid evidence is wild.
but you are damaging society.
I'm draining balls and sucking. That's what I'm doing. I'm not damaging society.
I mean, two things can be true at the same time, Bonnie. It is damaging, and it's damaging. Again, not these things don't happen in a vacuum. So her choice feminism is damaging how women appear to certain men. But then there is the argument that those men are probably looking for excuses to have a go at women anyway. I don't, because it's not, yeah, actually, oh God, I don't know what I think. Reasonable men aren't looking at Bonnie Blue and going, that's it, all the women in my life are sluts because they just want to be a Bonnie Blue. I don't know a single man in my life who would think that. So she's definitely being used as a scapegoat for men who already hate women. And that's what I was going to say about the Sabrina Carpenter thing. Her marketing team did like such an oopsie, because it's like, in today's political climate, with everything going on, you really think this is a good idea. I guess, again, like for Bonnie Blue, in today's climate, because choice feminism is largely a fallacy and an illusion, and we live under a patriarchy, is it helpful when so many men already just hate us? Is it helpful to be acting this way? Does it help other women? No. Does it titillate and get men off? Well, the ones who have been, wanking, yeah.
People have sex all the time. It's not just to earn money for OnlyFans. I've met multiple rappers and singers. They've got girls literally in their DMs begging to have sex with them just to get a bit of attention, a bit of money. Yeah. And they're doing that behind the closed doors.
But this is because we're in a generation now where women have been told that it's okay to sexualize our bodies, and we're going backwards. We've got this whole OnlyFans thing now where everyone's just glorifying.
I mean, women have been sexualized for a very, very, very long time. I mean, was it the Victorian era where, if you showed an ankle, I don't know how true that is really, it might just be pop culture nonsense, but women be sexualized kind of no matter what. I'm being too in the middle about all of this.
Being a prostitute.
Yeah, but I personally see women have been sexualized all the time.
Exactly. And we worked so hard to bring ourselves out of that so that we weren't just sexualized beings. Men used to go to war for women because of how respected and loved we were. Now we have all.
Huh? What wars? Are you talking about Helen of Troy? what wars did men go over? Because I'm sure there has been. Tell me in the comment section below, because I don't know. Because I'm just thinking of World War I and II, and I don't think that's what happened.
They have to do is pay £5 a month.
OnlyFans to me was a platform which allows women to be empowered and take control back.
So if you weren't getting paid and you weren't getting any clout, would you still do what you do?
Oh, I'd still do gangbangs, yeah.
Would you still
I don't think she would.
1,000 men in a day?
Yeah, because I want to test my body.
Why don't you test if you can run a marathon?
No, I'm not having a midlife crisis. I don't need to do a marathon.
So do you want to have children?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. Before, I was fixated. I was to be happy, you need to be married, then you have children, and then...
It's the way the interviewer can just insult her for 15 or so minutes, and then she asks her a normal question, right? And Bonnie can just engage so normally, completely unfazed, and answer it. No, it's not... You're not a real human being. But I kind of like it.
If you were to have children and you had a son,
yeah,
and he turned 18, how would you feel if he slept with someone like you?
Yeah, I'd love it. Put him in someone else's
So you'd prefer him to prostitute than just fall in love nicely with a nice girl and have sex that way?
How unrealistic is that to say? Who falls in love at 18, gets married and has sex with loses their virginity to the person they get married? Does not happen.
I mean, it probably happens more than people that 1,000 men in a day.
Well, yeah, but that's two ends of the extremes. What one quotation extreme. I mean, there's not going to be any Christian conservatives in the comments, religious conservatives in the comment section of this video, I'm sure, screeching about, me quotation calling sex with one person and marriage extreme. But on one end, there's that, because that's almost pure chastity. You're one person, Ben Shapiro's over here. And on the other end, you've got Bonnie Blue. The vast majority of people are going to be in the middle. They'll have a few sexual partners. Some will have a higher count. Some will have a lower count. That's the norm now. Obviously, in some, even saying that in some religious countries, there are going to be people where, oh no, you should only ever have one person, but they still have affairs and shag about and stuff as well.
It is wrong. Hands down, point blank, period. It's wrong.
Your period.
And it's disgusting.
Okay.
and it's not something that should be glorified, and it's not something that should be pushed, and it's definitely not something that we should encourage our children to be doing, especially our daughters. As a woman to a woman,
Why especially our
raising
daughter? Why are we making any difference between male and female?
Because it is completely different.
If a girl wants to f someone and a girl wants to f someone,
Yeah.
it's completely the same. This
No,
is what
it's
I don't
not. Do we
understand.
both have vaginas?
No, one's got.
No, one goes
a pussy.
inside and one gets entered. And
God,
one.
and dicks get sore as well. Like I've worked with porn
I never
stars.
said that they don't get sore.
So it's the same.
But it's
my
an
point
energy.
is-
So this is where the interviewer starts to get woo and ridiculous and completely anti-science and just like lost my respect entirely, right? So preempting that by saying Bonnie is a bit wrong here, though. It is a little bit. Don't want people to take this the wrong way, but like there is a difference between men and women. Men statistically are, on average, more dangerous to women than vice versa, and obviously there are women who are dangerous to men, but statistically. So when she says our daughters and like woman to woman, and Bonnie's like, why, what's the difference, it's quite disingenuous, because it's like there is a difference. So, and even men are victims too, but what they don't say, right, because when people turn around and go, oh, men are victims too, and it's like, yeah, but often men are the victims of other men. So there is a bit of a difference in there. Like, we should be safeguarding daughters more, especially in the current alpha male dominated environment online.
I started off camming. I thought, oh, it's just going to be disgusting men online that are just weird. Like in my head, I was just thinking of like fat, ugly, smelly weirdos, probably quite old men. And then when I even actually started camming online, I was like, oh my God, these are normal people. These are people you'd pass in the street and not think twice of.
Yeah.
Like they're just good looking, normal.
Well, Bonnie, I disagree, because I hate everyone I pass in the street. I'm actually the weirdo when people walk past me in the street. I hate everyone. So I don't think they're normal. I think they're probably idiots too.
Guys, and each guy's got a different story. Like when I was on cam, some of them were just lonely. Some of them, they just had children and their wife was so busy looking after them that they hadn't been like sexually active, which is fine. You don't want to put pressure on your wife. Like obviously.
That's a change of tune, innit? Because remember, Bonnie, you said, no, women should be doing that. I don't care if you've just had a pregnancy and you're all... She didn't say that, but she's changed her tune a little bit, probably because of the backlash before. Like, she didn't care about men pressuring women into sex before. So, softened, have we?
Wanted to come online and speak to somebody. So they wasn't weird. They just wanted to have a connection. And
they're still lying, cheating, duplicitous... Which if you're in a relationship with someone and you're doing something as important as raising a child, raising a human that's then going to go on and live in society and affect other people, it's important to have a good, open, honest relationship. Now, if they had permission from their wives, because I don't know, their wives weren't feeling it, even then I can't really respect it too much, right? And I feel like maybe women are being pushed to be a lot more understanding than they actually want to be, because a woman has gone through the like trauma of pregnancy and childbirth, and some bloke is complaining that he's like not good, it's like willy wet for 6 weeks. Literally grow up, go to hell. I'm so incensed now.
So do you condone cheating?
yeah,
You condone cheating?
there's always different scenarios with cheating. But yeah, before I'd have been like, oh, if your partner cheats, he doesn't love you. He doesn't want to be with you. But then when I started becoming a sex worker and I'd speak to so many men, they'd be like, no, I absolutely adore my wife. I adore my children. But she doesn't want to have sex anymore. But
This is where Bonnie is a bit of a silly pick-me, because you're only getting that, because you only speak to the men, you're only getting that viewpoint from them, and they are on your website to speak to you as a sex worker. They find you attractive. They are going to say whatever they think you want to hear to justify what they are doing. Maybe they are getting a bunch of sex, but they just want more. Maybe they're not. But even so, that's a conversation they should have with their wives before they start trying to sleep with sex workers. Or maybe they want to have their cake and eat it. Maybe they want the family life and they still want to have sex with other people. Or maybe they're cowards. These aren't innocent little angels who just can't help, having a bit of a sex drive that Bonnie pretends they are. Not even because it makes her feel better, because I don't think she gives a shit either way, does she?
as a guy, he's had needs. He still wanted to have sex. So for him going to a sex worker was much better, and I completely agree, than having an intimate affair with somebody you work with, somebody you see on a regular basis. If it's a slut like me, there isn't a connection. I probably won't even remember you the next day. So for them, they were just paying for a service, just like you would any other appointment. And
Which It's fine if it's discussed and arranged within the relationship, because otherwise, if people get found out, and they do, because they'll get found out because most people are really shit at acting, because otherwise they would just be actors then, and they'll get caught out eventually. Some don't, but they're the lucky ones, right? You are then just going to be in a world of hurt, and then you'll get divorced, and then half your assets will be gone, and all of this stuff. So there's just talk to people, man. It ain't hard. I'm literally a professional yapper. It ain't hard to talk. I'm always yapping away to my boyfriend. He's sick of it.
And you're leaving.
Yeah.
It wasn't getting emotionally connected to me. It was just I'm a cum bucket. Come on me, leave, go back to your wife. And then there's
Like, if it's just purely transactional in that way, just, them offloading literally onto Bonnie and then going back to their wife, why couldn't they use a sex toy or a fleshlight or do it? If Bonnie as a person, as a human, doesn't matter to these blokes, why can't they literally just like get a sex doll then? If it's purely it ain't, so.
And then how about if you were married and you just had children, and then your husband went and f***ed someone else? Would you still have that same mindset?
Yeah.
So I don't think you would.
So this is the thing, everyone says to me, I don't think you would. Oh my God, you're a suicide case waiting to happen. Oh, in the future this.
I mean, in the future, there is.
I don't think Bonnie would care, because I reckon she'll be pregnant bonking other dudes anyway.
Even though it pisses everyone off that I do this and I do it so proudly, I'm okay with it. And I'm not promoting it for other people. I'm saying you probably can't do it. You're probably not hot enough, probably not got the cardio strength in the bedroom, because God, it's a lot of work. But I'm saying this is what I do and I'm happy. So no, I'm not a suicide case waiting to happen, or,
I would love to ask her workout and diet routine, to be honest.
The only long-term effect for me is every time you have a sexual encounter with
Here we go. Strap in, strap on. We took ages to get there, but boy, we're finally there. Here we go.
anybody and a man enters you, there is DNA, there is traces of DNA. They live up to in your side of you for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And there's also an energy transfer. I don't know if you're spiritual. I probably don't think you are at all. No. But spiritually, there is an energy transfer.
So let's stop there for a second. The DNA nonsense that she's parroting is often used to argue that women with multiple partners are damaged or pair bonded to previous men on a cellular level. It's purity culture nonsense. It's pseudoscience. It's not biological truth in the slightest. So maybe in some cases, in this lady's case, I think it's just a misunderstanding. But the people who say it are probably deliberately distorting the truth. What we're talking about is something called microchimerism, which is when small numbers of foreign cells from one body remain in another body, usually from pregnancy. And the most studied case is fetal microchimerism, when a baby's cells cross the placenta and stay in the mother's body, sometimes for years. But there is zero scientific evidence that semen or male DNA from casual sex remains in the vagina or somehow travels to the brain long term unless conception actually occurs. And even in cases of pregnancy, the cell transfer is small, complex, and not about sexual bonding or emotional imprinting. It's not about sex, it's about pregnancy-related cellular exchange, and this doesn't apply to sperm. Sperm cells do not embed in the body unless fertilization happens. Like if you have sex with someone and they, finish inside you without a condom, and you go to the toilet and you've weed out most of it. And over the next few days, unless fertilization happens and you get pregnant, your vagina naturally disposes of it. DNA from a man does not and cannot live inside you for years. It is nonsense. Red pill men deliberately distort this myth to try to control women, to reinforce the idea of female purity, pair bonding, in which there was a study. Rachel was, because we were talking about this video, Rachel told me about there was some study about, I think it was voles. I'm sure she's mentioned it in one of her hundreds of videos. Like one particular species of voles pair bonded, and then men took that and went, mammals pair bond, so women pair bond, and that means we can't have meaningful relationships if a woman has already pair bonded or had sex with another man. But they never apply it to themselves. Funny that, isn't it? They never apply this to themselves, because I forgot, men can shag around no problem. They don't have oxytocin release. They don't bond. In fact, that's actually crazy that men, The men who say this are like, well, biologically it's natural for me to shag around. So it's like, so you can't bond with someone? You can't connect with someone and owe them your loyalty? You can't do that. Is that what you're telling me? So you're not as evolved or as conscious as a woman then? We should flip these arguments on their head. As soon as men are like, no, it's more natural for women to stick one partner, but men it's not. It's like, oh, so you're incapable of doing that because you're less evolved, basically. You're incapable of having like a meaningful connection with someone where you would choose them over like fleeting passion or one night stand. Oh, that's so interesting. Says a lot about you. Fucking idiots. Anyway, yeah. So sperm after sex, if the egg doesn't get fertilized, the sperm gets flushes out. Nothing stays inside you physically, spiritually, nothing. This isn't science, it's just wishful thinking for men who want to turn bad takes into biology. It's like, remember when they said, oh, soy raises estrogen levels in men? And it's like they got the data from a study of sheep who have like, it's either 2 or 4 stomachs, I can't remember, eating grass, and it raised estrogen levels in sheep. And they took that and went, that's why soy and tofu gives you boobs as a man. Because of sheep. Sorry, sir, are you a sheep?
And it's very hard if you even sleep with 2 or 3 men to maintain any sort of real connection with anybody because you have shared energies inside of you plus all.
There we go. There it is. If you sleep with more than one person, you are a slut and you have no value. And not even that, you are incapable of having a meaningful bond with anyone else because you have shared your energy with someone, which I don't even need to get into why that is complete nonsense. Yeah, things are made of energy and things are made of like vibrations and particles, but not in this way. Like, you people just don't understand science. I barely understand science. I'm doing better than all of you. I wasn't a virgin before I met my current boyfriend, so I guess it's time to tell him that even though he's the only man romantically I have ever trusted to any degree, and even though I am completely myself around him and we share a life together, and even though I tell him all of my thoughts and fears and my biggest secrets, I guess it's time to tell him that none of that was meaningful. And I guess the only meaningful connection I ever had was with like my first boyfriend 15 years ago because, my first sexual relationship. I guess it's time to tell my boyfriend that even though in that relationship I couldn't be myself and I didn't share anything and I didn't have DMCs or we didn't even really understand each other that much, he just can't compare to that first relationship. Damn. I guess I got to tell him that the same applies, right? The same does apply back, right? Like, as he wasn't a virgin when we met, my current boyfriend, I guess he can't form a meaningful bond with me. The same applies to men, doesn't it, Michelle? Or does this somehow magically, like energy being divided, only apply to women? I am so sick of you guys don't even understand because you haven't known me all my life. You don't understand how much I fucking despise having to be half reasonable on this platform. I had so much more fun when I was like, oh my God, the moon is a hologram and it's up there to transmit things to our brains, and the earth is hollow because that's where the reptilians live. It was so much more freeing and fun to be that way. But now coming online and dealing with this misinformation, like Little Miss, oh, facts this, facts that, is now talking about a myth that's not even true, that got co-opted by like the red pill manosphere to control women, and is talking about energy being divided when you have sex with someone. But facts this, factual this, factual that. Like, I am so sick of having to be lucid, semi-coherent. But what's the alternative? I just start believing absolute rubbish? I hate being a person of science now. I was doing maths the other day for fun. I hate this.
But spiritually, there is an energy transfer. And it's very hard if you even sleep with 2 or 3 men to maintain any sort of
spirituality isn't facts, so,
real connection with anybody because you have shared energies inside of you plus all the shared DNA.
There's no shared DNA. You are completely wrong. You are so wrong. Why are these people employed? I'm sorry, but you take on the role as a presenter and you're just spouting nonsense to validate your viewpoint. It's completely factually incorrect. And we don't have evidence of spirituality or energies being shared or any of that kind of stuff. We do have some evidence of MK Ultra though.
So for you to have thousands inside of you all at once, mentally, over the years, it will have an impact. You will probably lose your character. You probably wonder why you don't feel right all the time. And it's because you have this massive energy bulge of just thousands and thousands of different men inside of you all living at once, coexisting.
That's something I'd wank over, and I've got all their energy inside of me. But like,
that is a beautiful, amazing response, and I couldn't think of like any way better to respond to that. If you're going to start talking gibberish, then like prepare to get a bit of gibberish back. I think that's beautiful. Bonnie Blue. Oh, you'll make a fan out of me yet. Oh, I've got 1,000 men still inside me. Oh, I like that. It's making me horny.
I don't know many girls that've got a body count less than 2 or 3.
No, not many, but like there's...
So then everyone's fucked.
Do you not see...
And then the interviewer, because that is a very astute observation from Bonnie. Most people nowadays aren't going to have a body count. I hate that word, body count. Like, we're not serial killers. Body count. Like, I'm hiding bodies in the cupboard because I murdered someone. Behave. Not many people are going to have just one sexual partner. And there isn't even like, a time back then where people were even more chaste. Like, people were still having affairs. This like purity culture that it's part of religious control, but this purity culture, it's not based in reality. Do you reckon like peasants in the Middle Ages weren't just doing it? Of course they were. Like, people have always been shagging about. But it's an astute observation that, okay, well, most people aren't going to have one sexual partner in their entire lives. So is everyone fucked then, basically? And we're all just like going to go mad in the head. And the interviewer has to change the question because it's a bit of logic, isn't it?
That there's clearly some sort of trauma there. There's something that's unhinged and not right inside, because
I don't think that's very necessary to say. I mean, I reckon I already said earlier, I don't think it's going to affect her because I think she might actually just be a psychopath, but non-derogatory, kind of fun.
Obviously, if it was a normal thing, everyone would be doing it. But for it to be this extreme, there is something not right there. That is going to click.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I'm fully going into body defense mode. There is a lady a few years ago. She was some sort of like ultra marathon runner. She was on an episode of Joe Rogan. I forget her name. She just ate candy. She would eat candy and like have a beer. Not before. Didn't like have all these training protocols in place. And she did, it was like what? She would do like 100-mile runs. And there was one that she broke. I don't know if it was 200 miles. I don't know if it was like 500 kilometers. But that's extreme too. And the point is, you're always going to, you're always going to get people who do really extreme things, because that ultimately isn't going to be good for her health, doing, like 200-mile runs, is it? I guess Bonnie is just the ultra marathon runner of the OnlyFans community.
One day, and it is going to bite you in the arse, and you are going to feel the repercussions of your actions, because
it's just not going to happen.
It is, whether it's a week or a year or 10 years from now, you are going to look back and
you also could be hit by a bus next year and die.
I don't think it's going to affect Bonnie for all the reasons that I've said. I don't see it, ma'am. And like I said, if she does turn around and go, oh, actually, all of those men were awful and all of them exploited me, I'm just going to be like, nope, you don't get to play that card, because you've been, this me being anti-Bonnie again, you've been so nasty and derogatory to other women. So you're not, I forbid it. I don't allow it. You don't get to turn around and be like, oh, I wasn't me exploiting the men, they were exploiting me. You don't get to use that, Bonnie. But I don't think she's going to, regardless.
But now I found something that makes me super happy, and even my family see how much happier I am.
So your family support what you do?
Super supportive.
So they don't like you?
No, they're super supportive.
But they don't like you. They might support what you do, because genuinely anybody who cared about you, your mom, your dad, your sister, your partner, anybody who cared about you wouldn't encourage what you're doing.
I'm not saying...
I don't think the interviewer, again, has done her research or is well versed in this, because there is some things to pick apart about Bonnie's. I don't know if it's her stepdad or her biological dad. It might be her stepdad, or is it? Regardless, her father figure, right? Like, goes down to the pub and hands out cards, like, for men to like shag her and be on her OnlyFans. And her mum, like, there's being like, okay, you're doing this thing, sure. And then there's like actively encouraging people down at the pub to shag your daughter. There's things to like, genuinely talk about and dissect here. But because the interviewer has been super judgmental, we've not gotten into any meat or like any depth. If there is depth to Bonnie, we haven't discovered it, because this has been handled quite poorly. Should I take one for the team and do it? Should I interview Bonnie Blue? I wouldn't take it seriously, and then like I'm not going to put myself in a position where I'm going to get nagged at by people who don't follow my channel, who would be like, why is she laughing all the time? Why is she joking with her? Why isn't she taking this seriously? I'm not going to put myself in that position because I wouldn't take it that seriously. Why should I?
And they're saying, oh my God, go and sleep with 1,000 people. However, I'm an independent woman. So if I decide to go and do that, they're just going to be there to support me.
No, that's not how caring for somebody works. If I see someone spiraling, somebody I genuinely care about spiraling down a path of self-destruction, I am going to step in and I'm going to say, babe, listen, what you're doing is wrong.
Yeah, but you also believe that energy gets divided during sex and that male sperm and DNA inexplicably just lives on in a woman like a parasite to a host. So I just wouldn't really listen to any of your advice anyway.
You are going to regret it. It's not healthy. It's not great. It's really bad. You look atrocious.
Yeah.
I'd be very honest with them. And
so you would say to someone, you look atrocious. That's not going to help, is it?
if you was a broke person, you lived in a normal house and you was doing this and you weren't making any money, they wouldn't support you.
They would.
They would reel you in, and I don't feel like they would support you. I feel like
I've known my family my whole life. You've never even spoke to them. Like I said, you like to make all these assumptions.
Yeah.
Like the men are disgusted. Oh, your family don't support you. Yeah,
No, I just said your family do support you, but because
but
they
don't
they're
like
exploiting you for an financial gain.
Sorry, my family don't like me.
No, they can't like you.
But I'm sat here telling
I know it's a crazy thing for me to say, really, because we are talking to the Bonnie Blue here. But like, this interviewer is so close-minded and just doesn't really have an imagination. Like, so many varieties of different people exist and coexist and have families within society. I'm not saying it like I can imagine they do. I mean, the mother has said like, oh yeah, we get to go on like nice holidays. So her parents are probably like her. Hence why she is like this. So, you know, why kind of wouldn't they like her? I don't know, man. It's, for me, this is a bit of a stupid point to like get stuck on.
Like the first thing I do after gangbangs is like, I want to see the footage. I want to see the clips. You'd be disgusted and revolted by it.
Yeah,
Suddenly
absolutely.
I love it. I'm like, oh my God, look how like much I'm being stretched out.
I don't think I could watch it.
Look at that
I
guy's
genuinely
dick touching
think
my eyeball.
my heart would hurt watching that for you.
I'd watch it. Why not?
So obviously we are very different. So we're going to have completely different opinions on that. But why do you think that most women hate you?
Because I'm a sex worker, because I speak so proudly of it. Like, yeah, it might be because I've slept with their husband and son, but as a whole, it's because I'm so proud of what I do and the way I speak about it.
I don't know, man. Like, you can't whitewash the things you've said. You can't change the narrative, rewrite the story. You've said very derogatory things about other women. That might be why they dislike you. It's not just because you're a sex worker and you talk about it proudly. Because like a lot of women I know would just be like, yeah, and who cares? It doesn't affect my life. But as soon as you're saying things that are very rape culture adjacent and you're defending and being a pick-me for certain types of men and being like, well, what do you expect? Like saying nasty, you know, basically, what was she saying in the GK Barry interview? It was essentially like, no, you should just sleep with your man even if you don't want to because he will sleep with someone else. It's like, okay, so that's not fully consensual then. It's not, if they don't really want to do it but they feel obligated. Like, no one's obligated to anyone else's body, right? So these are some of the things why people might not like you, not just because, oh, I'm hot.
Yeah. And when I look at these videos online, one of the main things they say is, oh, if this was a guy saying it, he'd be arrested. Oh, you're only getting away with this because you're a woman. Guys have sexualized women from the early stage, like school.
I have literally said on this channel before that I do not like those. Oh, but you know, if a guy said it, he'd get in trouble because guys say and do so much bad stuff and don't get in trouble. Donald Trump is the president of America. Guys and men get away with shit all the time. Like, oh, what did I see on Reddit recently that really pissed me off? So trigger warnings, it's about sexual assault. There was a man relaying his experience of how he went to a massage parlor and something happened to him they didn't really consent to, right? And then he was like, I feel like I've been violated and sexually assaulted. But I also feel like no one's going to take it seriously because I'm a man. And I feel like if I was a woman and this happened to me, everyone would care and the place would get shut down. And it was like that one throwaway line at the end. And I was like, you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to compare yourself to women and put women down. And that's a false reality because most rape cases or sexual assault cases never even make it to court because women on a profound level don't get believed. They have to have evidence, and even then, like, I hate that argument of, oh, if you were a man, you wouldn't get away with saying that because men do, or oh, if I was a woman and this happened to me, like XYZ would get in trouble, because no, that routinely doesn't happen. So
girl content has always been the thing that's always been trending on porn. Suddenly I'm a woman. Yes, it makes me feel empowered. I know you don't agree, but I'm suddenly saying, hey, I'm the older woman and I'm going to sexualize schoolboys.
Yeah.
And the women
which is a crazy sentence, by the way.
have got an issue with that. Yeah, I never see a TikTok of them going, oh my God, I was scrolling on the hub the other day and there was a schoolgirl that was sexualized by an older guy. Because
Plenty of people do talk about that though, Bonnie.
that is so common to
Yeah,
us.
it is very common.
Yeah.
But people do talk about it and are trying to like rewire it and unlearn it.
I can't understand that these women are banging on saying, I want things to be equal.
Yeah.
Yeah, have an issue with me as opposed to the schoolgirls that are being
But
sexualized.
there is an issue with schoolgirls being sexualized. It's always
But
been
they're not the
thing.
ones that causing the uproar.
No, I know. The reason it caused an uproar is because as women, we know what it was like to be sexualized as a schoolgirl. To then go and do it to schoolboys, knowing that it's wrong and it's detrimental to them, especially to like...
The schoolgirls that continue to be sexualized, they don't have an issue with that. They're never speaking about it.
People do. See, she's lying here and being disingenuous, and the interviewer actually made a good point that, well, you know that it's not nice for schoolgirls and causes issues, so why would you then go on and do it to schoolboys in this faux, like, oh, I just want things to be equal. It's like when men go, oh, women want equality, but what if I punch them in the face? It's like, you thought of equality and that's the first thing you thought of, punching a woman in the face. Like, what are you talking? Literally, what are you talking about? See, the interviewer makes a good point here. She should have gone on more about it. We've got 3 minutes left, so she's not going to. And Bonnie is kind of conveniently missing the point.
I actually speak about it quite often. I speak about it on podcasts and stuff.
Yeah.
I know a few people that I know personally do speak about the overly sexualized of, especially when you were in school uniform. You could have made so much money with your dignity and your pride still intact, your vagina still intact, everything's still
It's still
just,
very, very tight.
I can't imagine it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, what? So you're saying the women that then have had children, they're not tight?
No, because they naturally bounce back if you understand how the
A lot of women don't, though. So is that something to be denigrated? No.
woman's body works.
So they're in
After they
labour
have a child.
Sometimes they're in labour for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
I was only being for 12 hours.
And it's not even just the 12 hours, because you can for 12 hours, but fucking 1,000 men, different shapes and sizes. It really
Women shit out entire watermelons during birth. A man's penis ain't gonna do shit. Like this woman is so anti-science. A man's penis is not going to change the size or shape of your vagina.
and it's not even just the 12 hours, because you can for 12 hours, but fucking 1,000 men, different shapes and sizes. It really is damaging.
So
to
anybody
your
that's
vagina.
with a guy that's got like a 12-inch dick,
Yeah.
what, they're just a gaping hole?
Not really, because like I said, our vaginas get used to one penis.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Oh man, this woman. I think saying that's worse. Your vagina gets used to one penis, and then so if you have more sex than that, it's going to be misshapen. Men's DNA lives on. Like this woman. Like again, it's actually red pill manosphere crap masquerading as spirituality, and I think that's quite damaging because it's anti-science nonsense.
You do. My vagina will take anybody's and everyone's.
Exactly, and that's why it will misshape and it will rearrange it.
Hands. Are we the baddies?
She literally is body shaming Body Blue's vagina and saying that it's misshapen and it will get rearranged by the different... Rearranged? It's not a furniture set from IKEA.
You're constantly taking different penises, different
Yeah.
shapes, different sizes, different
And how long have you been a doctor
bacteria.
for?
I'm teaching you something about...
You're not teaching anything because you're not a teacher. Like, the sheer audacity to be saying anti-science, anti-biological, like rubbish that isn't grounded in reality, that is parroted on manosphere red pill talking points. So I wonder what your YouTube recommended looks like if you're like ingesting all this nonsense. Like again, like which is used to control women with like this purity culture fear of, oh no, if I do this, my vagina will be misshapen, it won't be tight enough anymore, or like it's going to be rearranged, and oh no, like the energy of two lovers past is going to live on in me like the fucking ghosts in A Christmas Carol. And then the audacity to turn around and be like, oh no, I'm teaching you stuff. No, you're not.
the woman's body, and you're saying, oh, but you're not a doctor.
You're not a doctor.
But I'm telling you something that you can go and learn in a book.
Go learn in a book. What was it? Like a Mark Manson red pill dating book. Which, by the way, he used to do before he, pretended to turn into like the philosopher of YouTube. So check out some of his earlier works in which he said when a woman says no, doesn't actually mean no. Look it up if you don't believe me.
Yeah, but you can't get that. You can't look at someone and go, you know what, you've got 2 months left to live. Off you go.
No, of course
you
not,
have
because
to
I'm not a
actually
doctor.
test, and you have to actually see for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm saying, let's get our passes out. Let's get a dick in, and we can ask the guy who's tighter.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer. So
I think she should do it. Find out. Let's do some actual science instead of pseudoscience babble. Let's actually test it out.
So you weren't always a whore?
No, not always. I very much enjoyed sex, but that was as far as it went.
Okay, well, thank you for coming today. It was a very interesting conversation.
She hated her. Bonnie, so unflappable. Look at her, so unbothered. I aim to be that unbothered about everything in life. I aim to be psychotic.
Definitely the most outlandish one I think I've ever had in my life.
Yeah. I say the one thing I'm hoping is you do the stop assuming and you actually experiment.
With sex?
Just in general, if you're going to interview someone,
Yeah.
probably do a more in-depth background check. I mean, you can really go in depth with me, like really deep.
Yeah, I can
I would say research and keep your cool next time.
imagine. But mine wasn't an assumption. Mine were more educated guesses or facts.
Big words, educated guesses coming from someone who thinks ghost sperm lives on in haunted women vaginas. We all just have haunted vaginas if we've been whores and dared to sleep with more than one person in our lives. What if you sleep with one person and then you're stuck with them because you're, in this magical universe, you're pair bonded and, their sperm is literally haunting you and they're just really bad at sex and they're a horrible person? Kind of screwed then, didn't you? What if they were pretending to be nice the entire time and then they get you in bed and then that's it? Shame. So that was that. That is my defense of Bonnie Blue. I know, I can't believe it either, but do you guys see what I mean? How ridiculous that interview was. Let's read some of the comments. Let's end this off by reading the comments. Michelle, that's disgusting. Bonnie Blue, I love it. Sums up this entire interview. You can't shame the shameless. The fact that Bonnie answered every question with a straight face with no changes to her pupils is crazy. She's legit locked in. Well done, Michelle. You managed to conduct an interview so poorly that most people were damn near rooting for Bonnie by the end of it. Absolutely not. I aim to have this level of not caring about what people think. My nephew's 18. We'll send him to me then. Bonnie Blue is smarter than the other girl. I wouldn't say way. Well, I don't think. I'm awful and don't think anyone's smart. She destroyed her, apart from my man Slavoj and Immanuel Kant. She destroyed her on an intellectual level, and from an ethical standpoint, she held her own admirably. She kept her calm in the face of a barrage of ad hominem insults, didn't fall for the rage bait, and she easily crushed this interview. I think Bonnie gets so much. I don't think she was that arsed in the first place, because when I first became aware of her and she first started getting criticism, she never seemed that arsed by it either. But at this point in her career, she's had so much more criticism than most other people in these industries. So this wasn't going to affect her. Calling her a slut, it's going to do nothing apart from maybe make her horny. I'm not having a midlife crisis. I don't need to run a marathon. The interview that wrecked Michelle tried so many shots and they all bounced off. She was fuming. She's actually low-key funny with the way she shamelessly admits things with a blank expression. Liquid evidence was hilarious. Bonnie has expert-level composure. Not even politicians are able to keep it together how she did. Class act. I wouldn't go that far. Masterful conduct and control is clear. She played that interviewer like a fiddle. Shame the interviewer lost her composure doing this. Bonnie wiped the floor. Bonnie demolished this interview. So, if the intention of Michelle was to get people on her side, safe to say it's not really worked. What did you think of today's video? Because that's all from me. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Do we predict that Bonnie will regret her actions in 10 years' time? Do we predict that me and Bonnie are inevitably going to somehow become mates? Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Make sure you like or subscribe. I make new videos whenever I feel like it. Follow me on my socials. I've got a sleep ASMR channel now called Alizee. And I've got my slop channel to Alizee to Furious. And I've got a gaming channel, Alizee XP. So there's literally something for everyone. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.